Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. So as you can see guys, the price of Bitcoin not just only broke the support around this 38,000, 39,000 range, but now we are hovering around this 35,000 price area. So what does this actually mean here in the immediate short term, and also what kind of scenario could be unfolding next? Because if you are aware, I have showed you this weekly time frame and why for Bitcoin this weekly support was so important, because if you look at this rising trend line, this rising trend line acted as a strong line of support with each and every price retracement. Not just only the rising trend line, also the parallel trend line support was holding the price around this 40,000 to 39,000 range. We broke out of it and now we are clearly, guys, we are clearly below it, and this is also showing us that if this is going to be a trend continuation from here on, then the price of Bitcoin has officially broken out of this most important support line, which is also indicating that maybe we could be starting this new downtrend. But how far is this downtrend going to last? I mean, this trend reversal here, is it going to be a movement here in this manner now from here on, or are we expecting some sort of a different price movement to play out? So let me share this Wyckoff's price cycle example. But before I show you that, guys, this bullish scenario, also the right angle broadening wedge, right? And again, this falling wedge, all this price action has failed, which was in favor of bulls. But now, since the support got broken around this 38, 39,000, we are clearly below this falling trend line. This is an indication of a trend weakening, and now for that we are aware, if the price of Bitcoin, as I have said you on my yesterday's video, is going to break out of this first monthly S1 line, the next monthly price target is lying around 30,000 range. So this is also showing us that maybe this trend could be bottomed out after getting gravitated around this monthly S2 line, because we are aware for this month, for the January month, we have few more days left, right? So if this is not going to be the bottom line, the next CPR line definitely is also going to be a descending CPR, which will indicate weakness, because in an uptrend you will always see higher highs or ascending CPR playing out, just like here. You can see when the trend is in an uptrend, you will always see the CPR lines also building more of a higher highs CPR, but in a downtrend the same CPR line will act as a resistance, right? You can see here. And in uptrend again, the same line will act as a support. So now in our case, as you can see, this here is a clear sign of weakness, because the CPR line is also forming this lower lows CPR. So the next month, if this is also going to close below this 38,000 range, then the next month CPR is again going to be a descending CPR, which will indicate a clear sign of weakness and also some potential price pullback type of scenario towards this 30,000 to 29,000 range. Because if you include this Wyckoff price cycle, according to this Wyckoff's price cycle, we have accumulation phase, markup phase, distribution phase, and again this markdown phase. And now if we look in our case and simply understand this theory, right? So if this here was this accumulation phase, right, this here an accumulation phase, markup phase, distribution phase, and if this is going to be the markdown phase, right, just like as shown here in the example, you can see if this is going to be this markdown phase, then where is it going to end? Because we know, according to this Wyckoff cycle, this is how the market tends to work. I mean, with the consolidation, accumulation, reaccumulation, distribution phase, and this here, if we compare the price movement what we are witnessing, this is showing us that the price of Bitcoin could be around the final movement here to the downside before forming this accumulation phase. Because that is the reason why I'm saying you, if this trend is going to continue here to the downside, this monthly S2 line could be our final point, which is lying around 30,000 range. And if we do see this gravitation around this 30,000 range, or let's say 29,000 area, then you can see we could be approaching around the previous accumulation phase. And this previous accumulation phase in our case is also the bottom line was around 29,000 price area. So now you can see if this trend is going to see more of a movement here in this manner, then maybe around this area, maybe we could be starting also new accumulation phase before price again starts this actual movement here to the upside. But how long does it going to take for this accumulation to happen or to unfollow? Because we are aware, if you look at this one example in a weekly time frame, let me show you that. So now if we look at this price action of Bitcoin again in a weekly time frame, I want to show you this one very interesting scenario which has pointed out that in the past Bitcoin price action, losing the support from this 50 weekly has brought the price of Bitcoin towards this 200 weekly moving average before choosing again this new mark of phase. Because if you go back here all the way from 2014 2013, you can see when the trend of Bitcoin was in an uptrend and we were clearly above this blue line, which was the 50 weekly moving average. But once we got this retracement, this 50 weekly moving average acted as support, we got a really nice relief rally, but the price could not continue higher, and after that we retested this support line, got broken, and all of a sudden you can see we got gravitated towards the 200 weekly moving average before starting this new bull market. Again, similar scenario. After this huge mark of phase, you can see we had this retracement. Price saw a gravitation around this 50 weekly moving average, just like here from past Bitcoin price action. Small relief rally. We were not able to find a proper support around this 50 weekly moving average. Got gravitated towards the 200 weekly moving average. Similar scenario unfolded here. New trend, you can see, got retraced around this 50 weekly moving average. Was not able to find support. After that, we got gravitated towards the 200 weekly moving average, and in our case, since we have already said we have lost the support from this 50 weekly moving average after this markup phase, now if this is also going to be a scenario just like here from past Bitcoin price action, then you can see now the price of Bitcoin could be slowly heading towards this 200 weekly moving average. But where is this 200 weekly moving average going to be? Because if you look at this one here from the past Bitcoin price action, when we finally, right, started breaking below this 50 weekly moving average, it took us around 300 days until we reached a 200 weekly moving average. That should be around like 9.5 months. Again, if you look at this from 2017, once we broke the support from this 50 weekly moving average, it took us around 203 days. So that should be around 6.5 months of downtrend. And in our case, if this is going to be another downtrend from here on, since we have already broken below this 50 weekly moving average, and let's suppose we are also going to see a retracement around this 200 days, then until June or July from this 2022, the price of Bitcoin could be showing us movement here in this manner, and price slowly getting gravitated towards the 200 weekly moving average. And in that case, if this is going to happen just like as shown here in a past Bitcoin price action, then you can see, guys, this 200 weekly moving average could be around this 29 to 30,000 range. And in that case, as you can see, we could be forming an actual accumulation phase and again slowly starting this new mark of phase. So these are some of the interesting scenario I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, guys, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye, guys.